Welcome back, everyone. It's time for Throwback Thursday.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Lessons for Success show. I'm your host, Adam Wardlaw, a teacher and football coach from South Carolina. 2019 was a huge first year for the show, and I want to thank everyone for tuning in. In the United States alone, the show is represented in 37 states, and around the world, the show is heard in 13 different countries. When I began the podcast, I could not have anticipated this type of reach, and I'm thankful for you guys who tune in to every episode. Season 2 of the podcast is coming soon, featuring a variety of new guests who will be sharing their stories of success and the lessons they learned along the way. I've also started producing quick daily episodes in order to provide some lessons for you guys about different subjects throughout the week. Be sure to subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcast, and if you're listening on your iPhone right now, I encourage you to leave a 5-star rating. You can also keep up with the show by following it on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook using the hashtag L4S show. Remember, that's number 4. Now let's start the show. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Lessons for Success Show podcast. It's Throwback Thursday, and that means we're going to look back in the history books and see what lessons we can pull from moments in our past. Roughly 140 years ago, in the year 1879, the famous Thomas Edison premiered his light bulb for the public to see. I never realized that the light bulb was actually invented nearly 40 years prior to this. The reason Edison is often granted credit for this invention is because he was able to develop it in a practical way. This would lead to its adoption worldwide, and things have not been the same since. In a History Channel article about the topic, they said the following. I'll also leave a link in the show notes if you'd like to read it for yourself. In the first public demonstration of his light bulb, American inventor Thomas Alva Edison lights up a street in Menlo Park, New Jersey. The Pennsylvania Railroad Company ran special trains to Menlo Park on the day of the demonstration in order to respond to the public enthusiasm for the event. Born in Milan, Ohio in 1847, Edison received little formal schooling, which was customary for most Americans at the time. He developed serious hearing problems at an early age, and this disability provided the motivation for many of his inventions. At age 16, he found work as a telegraph operator and soon was devoting much of his energy and natural ingenuity toward improving the telegraph system itself. By 1869, he was pursuing invention full-time, and in 1876 moved into a laboratory and machine shop in Menlo Park, New Jersey. Edison's experiments were guided by his remarkable intuition, but he also took care to employ assistants who provided mathematical and technical expertise that he lacked. At Menlo Park, Edison continued to work on the telegraph, and in 1877 he stumbled on one of his greatest inventions, the phonograph, while working on a way to record telephone communication. Public demonstrations of the phonograph made the Yankee inventor world famous, and he was dubbed the Wizard of Menlo Park. Although the discovery of a way to record and play back sound ensured him a place in history, the phonograph was only the first of several Edison creations that would transform late 19th century life. Among other notable inventions, Edison and his assistants developed the first light bulb in 1879, like this episode's about, and a forerunner of the movie camera and projector in the late 1880s. In 1887, he opened the world's first industrial research laboratory at West Orange, New Jersey, where he employed dozens of workers to investigate systematically a given subject. Perhaps his greatest contribution came to the modern industrial world with the invention of electricity. He developed a complete electrical distribution system for light and power, set up the world's first power plant in New York City, and invented the alkaline battery, the first electric railroad, and a host of other inventions that laid the basis for the modern electrical world. One of the most prolific inventors in history, he continued to work into his 80s and acquired 1,093 patents in his lifetime. He died in 1931 at the age of 84. So what lessons can we draw from Edison after learning more about his story? I think we can conclude that often what separates successful people from others is their ability to problem solve. Edison was a great inventor because he accepted challenges and sought solutions to problems. In your day-to-day life, you may not be an inventor like Edison, but you'll be faced with a variety of issues that you'll be forced to find solutions for. Your ability to find solutions is what will allow you to become the person you are wanting to be. What will be your light bulb solution to the problems you're facing today, tomorrow, or any other day? That is where your mental strength will come into play. Thanks again for listening, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Tune in tomorrow for another episode of the Lessons for Success Show podcast. Take care. Well, guys, that's it for this episode of Lessons for Success. Don't forget to reach out to the show on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at L4S Show. Again, that's the number 4. Feel free to share your thoughts on this episode. All the episodes are available on Spotify and Apple Podcast or anywhere else podcasts can be found. So be sure to like, subscribe, and rate. Thank you again for listening to the Lessons for Success Show podcast.